Yep.
Could it be you calling me down?
October 20th, 2021. Halfcast. 165, episode 165. Let's go. Yes.
You don't need nobody
Happy
else.
Wednesday, y'all. Hope your evening is going well.
No greater love, just open your eyes. Just hold out your
Of
hand.
course, I have a few things to share with you.
Forever it's you, forever it's me.
An evening of reflection.
You don't need nobody else. It's all yours, but you fail to
Shall we? A 10-year-old black girl was arrested at school in Hawaii after drawing a picture of her bully, ACLU says. And for a girl to be 10 years old and to find this as a very proactive way to confront her attacker, I applaud. I applaud. And for somebody to think that was grounds for her to be arrested, all she was doing, she very physically put a face to her attacker, and it was a call to action for the adults, the people who are supposed to be watching for her to be safe during the day when she's at school. That's all she was doing. It was a call to action. This girl was 10 years old now, and she was arrested at school after drawing a picture of her bully. But that called for her to be arrested, right? But the normal thing nowadays is just for these kids to be so victimized and so alienated that they just come to school with a gun and shoot everything up. She picked a very proactive way to confront her tormentor. A black girl was arrested after drawing her drawing left a parent very upset. So you know what? How can you, as a parent, if you're upset that another child fingered your child as a bully, then you should be upset that your child is misbehaving in such a way. Check your parenting. Don't check the fact that somebody called you out on it. A 10-year-old girl called you out on it. The girl was taken into custody without her mom, which I'm pretty sure is very illegal. First off, what called for her to get arrested in the first place when all you really had to do was just call your parents to come down? And we talk about this in the principal's office. According to an ACLU letter the outlet obtained, the ACLU is calling on local officials to change their policies and compensate the girl's family. Yes, a black 10-year-old girl was arrested at school in Oahu, Hawaii last year after making a sketch of another student that reportedly made a parent very upset. Yeah, it calls you out on your bullshit, other parent. The American Civil Liberties Union of Hawaii is taking action, calling on officials to make changes and compensate the child and her mother $500,000 damages, according to a letter sent by the organization on Monday. Both Hawaii News Now and the Associated Press reported. The letter was sent to the Honolulu Police Department and the State Department of Education with demands including prohibiting school staff from calling the police unless in a case where there is imminent threat of significant harm. No, this girl found a very intelligent way of dealing with the problem that put you and the other parent, that put the school staff and the other parent of the bullying child in no position but to call to action. Yes, and very intelligent. The letter said the Hawaii elementary school student who has ADHD and is referred to as NB in the document made the drawing in January 2020. I don't see how this figures into what the student did in January 2020 after getting bullied by a student. Hawaii News Now reported a spokesperson from the Hawaii Department of Education declined to comment. Of course, Keith Hui, who serves as the superintendent of the Leeward District Complex area, which includes Hanawai Elementary School, could not be immediately reached for comment. Yes, because you, this was never supposed to happen in the first place. First of all, you go to school to learn, but kids will be kids. But the fact that yeah, and you're lucky she didn't come to school. It's kids this age nowadays coming to school with weapons and just shooting everything up. Like this is what they're. She didn't bring any weapons to school. She didn't make any explicit threats to anyone. He added, yes. The ACLU's letter said the girl was handcuffed in front of her classmates, taken into custody, and interrogated by law enforcement without her mother present. Oh, it's a lot of people whose necks should be on the chopping block for this shit. And this is public. This is a 10-year-old girl, and this is public. According to the report, no charges were filed against her. Oh, so that was the favor that you did her? And yeah, the favor that you did her was not filing any charges. That's just straight up wrong. ACLU Hawaii legal director Wookie Kim told, that's a cool name, Wookie Kim told Hawaii News Now, and there's nothing that condones or justifies that. Finally, somebody is saying something that makes a little bit of sense. The Honolulu Police Department told Insider in a statement that it's reviewing the ACLU's letter and will be working with Corporation Counsel to address these allegations. Yes. Now, because we're not done with this, on the flip side, how about this though? Now, I mean, on the flip side, how about this? Because this 10-year-old girl found a way to vent her frustrations, and I call it a call to action because it made all the parties concerned aware that there was something going on in a way that was very proactive and also that was not violent. Now, man, but people happen here. 15, yeah. A 15-year-old Utah girl was arrested after police said she was allegedly planning a mass casualty incident like Columbine at her school last month. She was planning this out. Weber County officials took the student, whose name wasn't released due to her age, into custody after the sheriff's office received a tip from the FBI about a threat towards Webster High School. Deputies say that they received reports of messages from an Instagram account that contained terroristic threats, including the act of committing a mass school shooting. Now, what was happening to her that she felt like that she had to do this? Now, I mean, like, yeah, and referencing acquiring firearms and describe the act. And what's so scary about it is that it's so easy to get a gun that a 15-year-old girl can get her hands on a gun. Yeah, this is not just somebody that's making it. It's not meant to be taken as an empty threat anymore. It's not just a child who's having social problems at school and is just like venting out into the open air, venting out to the web. This is actually possible. This is what's scary about it when you send your kids to school, is that this is actually a damn possibility today. And reference acquiring firearms and described the act that she was about to perform like Columbine, according to a warrant obtained by KSL.com. The Columbine High School massacre was a school shooting and failed bombing that took place on April 20th, 1999 and resulted in the death of 15 people, including the two perpetrators at the time. It was the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history. The 2018 school shooting at Parkland Stoneman Douglas High School is currently the deadliest high school shooting scene in the U.S. On Wednesday, Nicholas Cruz pled guilty to 17 counts of murder in the Parkland. Investigators who seized the girl's phone say they found a Google search containing photos of a school shooter and text messages in which the girl allegedly said, "This shooting will be her way to make my mark on society." That is dark. In another app, detectives found a statement in which she allegedly wrote, "I need guns and I need bullets and I need alcohol." And was she just going to get drunk and Rambo everything? It's not funny, but Jesus, you're just going to get wasted and Rambo everything up. And I need bomb at 15. This is what's on your mind at 15. I think I was still like Ninja Turtles, maybe. Yeah. And I need to kill all of these people. The phone also contained a video of the girl reportedly manufacturing napalm in the driveway of her home. This girl is building a bomb, and you want to arrest a little girl for drawing a picture, but this girl is actively building a bomb. And while, yeah, she got to this point, that this is beyond the planning phase. She's testing out operations. Napalm in the driveway of her home, and while a search of her home did not turn up the substance, which can be used to create a bomb, officials say they believe she was in possession of napalm at one time. An affidavit states she had been planning the attack for April 2024. Jesus, wouldn't you be at what at 15 in 2024? Wouldn't by then you would think you would, I don't know, plenty of time to outthink it, to think it through, hopefully, or maybe get mad enough to push the plans forward a little bit. Hey, fuck that. 2022 now. She pissed me off. The Weber, it's fucked up. I only make light because it's so dark. Now I mean, and this show is not meant to be like about dark all the time, but these are things that need to be addressed. The Webster School District has opened up an internal investigation that says they will take appropriate action against the student if deemed necessary. Whoa, whoa. And just the fact that you feel like maybe you can't talk to anybody if you're just, and kids are, these kids are on these social platforms, these social sites. So the bullying isn't even visible anymore if you're a teacher or if you're some type of staff member, or the bullying isn't even visible anymore. You can have a whole classroom of students bullying one person in the corner of the classroom online and nobody says a word. That's what's really frightening. Next up, an OnlyFans model was reportedly arrested after her boyfriend accused her of stabbing him with the kitchen knife. What, that OnlyFans money is drying up? relationships relationships get stressed when money becomes an issue. The only what he wanted to be in one of the scenes. Instagram and OnlyFans model Jeannie Exum was arrested and charged with assault, police said, and I feel proud in saying that I have absolutely no idea who this is. That's good. A man who was reportedly her boyfriend alleged that she stabbed him, according to the police. And OnlyFans, Ixom has over 38,000 followers on Instagram and 182,000 likes on OnlyFans. Fun fact. An OnlyFans creator and Instagram model was arrested and charged with felony assault, and her boyfriend said she stabbed him with a kitchen knife. A spokesperson for the New York Police Department told Insider that 22-year-old Jeannie Exum was arrested on Monday night after a 30-year-old man told police who were responding to a 911 call that he was assaulted. The man alleged that a woman had stabbed him in the back and arm with a kitchen knife. After the two got into a verbal dispute, I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall. The NYPD spokesperson, like OnlyFans, was charged with one count of assault with intent to cause physical injury with a weapon, a Class D felony, at an arraignment hearing in New York criminal court on Tuesday. The 30-year-old man was Exum's boyfriend. The NYPD spokesperson said the man is now in stable condition. The hospital did not respond to a request. The person listed at Exum's defense attorney in court records, Brooke Quincy Myers of the Neighborhood Defense Service of Harlem, said the boyfriend suffered only minor injuries and did not want the case to continue. He disclosed to me he was not stabbed. Nobody wants to admit to that my OnlyFans girlfriend, New York Daily, Exum shared a post on her Instagram story on Tuesday night showing her sitting down in what appeared to be an NYPD office. They took my phone, y'all. I'm on the trap right now. Still won't get off social media. You about to go to jail. For something that's considered assault, inch or two to the left or right or up or down could have easily been attempted murder. Still won't get off fucking social media, to the death with this shit for some people. Exum has a verified account on a platform where she posts pictures of her posing in dresses and bikinis and picturesque locations. In September, she posted an Instagram picture that showed her flashing her breasts in front of an NYPD car. That's right. Use the platform. And Exum's OnlyFans page, she describes herself as a free spirit from Alabama with a loud mouth and a dirty mouth. Florida man tries to rob Waffle House with finger I do. Nabs napkins in his exit. Yeah. And everybody count to 100. If you come outside, I'm going to give it all to you. A Florida man has been arrested after attempting to rob a local Waffle House with finger guns and stealing napkins from a local. This day, the Madison County Sheriff's Office said that 28-year-old Ewart William Rodriguez of Madison, Florida, is facing charges for unarmed robbery. You sure? You want to take this? You want to take the chance and find out if I'm armed or not? Unarmed. Yeah, an assault after trying to rob the restaurant while under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Witnesses at the restaurant, there were witnesses. How embarrassing. Witness at the restaurant told Madison County deputies that Rodriguez walked into the Waffle House with the small dog, gestured his hands into finger guns and yelled, "Get on the ground. Y'all are getting robbed," with the dog. So what? It wasn't even like a Rottweiler. It was just like Rodriguez then grabbed a handful of napkins and fled the scene. No ketchup, you know what I mean? No ketchup, no salt, pepper packets, no nothing, just the napkins. Really? Set the company back all of $2. Shortly afterward, Madison County deputies caught up with Rodriguez at home where he confessed to robbing the restaurant. Is it really robbery, though? Was it really robbery? There was really no weapon. If anything, he should be fined for like stopping employee service or something like that. Or yeah, hindering syrup pouring or waffle making or something. Like, yeah, confessed to robbing the restaurant of his napkins, according to the Madison. Next up. If you like the show, subscribe and comment. Let me know you rocking with your boy. Human remains apparently found near backpack at Brian Laundrie search site. Here we go. Back on the hamster wheel. That's what they sure know how to keep it going. The FBI's prime person of interest in Gabby Petito's disappearance, her fiance Brian Laundrie, has now been missing for more than a month because he's the ghost that slips, that dances between the raindrops and between the FBI and local law enforcement and Dog the Bounty Hunter. You just can't seem to get a fucking bead on him, right? He vanished nearly a week before Petito's body was discovered. Just a day ago, Northport reopened Mayakahachi, where the Mustang was abandoned after a month-long closure. Laundrie's parents went to search Wednesday. The park was abruptly shut down again when the two found items belonging to their son after a brief search on a trail. So, okay. So you had the park, right? You closed the park, and how long were these items sitting there that as soon as you went back to search again, that this is my question. How you could have found these two items last week or 2 weeks ago, right? The park was abruptly shut down again when the two found items belonging to their son after a brief search on a trail. Their family attorney said apparent human remains were also found. Okay, so if I'm as hard to find as you people been spinning that he is this whole time, of course I will fucking take like a pair of underwear or drawers and pull out a tooth and throw some animal bones. I don't know. I'm just talking shit. Because they should have been found them, and it's making me mad. Partial human remains appear to have been found near a backpack in the Florida Park Central to the Brian Laundrie search, though it's not clear to whom they belong. A senior law enforcement official confirmed Wednesday. People die out there all the time. Let's be clear of that. They get lost, they get disoriented, they don't bring enough water, they don't bring enough supplies, and they end up dying of exposure, and the animals get a hold of their bones, and it looks like they've been decomposed a little bit longer than they have been, and you need to like take it to a lab to find out. Like, yeah, so let's not say we found them just yet. The backpack found near the apartment remains may be consistent with the type of items that Laundrie may have had in his possession at the time he disappeared in mid-September. I would also like to believe that what supplies would you possibly have if you've been on run for a month with let's say you've been on a run for a month with supposedly no contact, with no outside help from anybody. What supplies would you really have in that backpack if all your resources haven't been exhausted? Now that was something that they said a retired marshal, had said in an article the other day, that he doesn't really believe that the parents are being really forthcoming. Yeah, like that's a thing. Like, oh yeah, so is it possible that dad took one of Brian Laundrie's old stiff socks and threw them on the trail to throw the fucking police off the scent? Hey, man, confirmation of identity will require further forensic analysis that could take a number of days. It wasn't immediately clear if the backpack that law enforcement official referred to was among some articles belonging to Brian, that Stephen Bertolino attorney. How do we even know what he had in his pack? Like, yeah, said the missing man's parents found at the Mayakahachi Creek Environmental Park earlier in the day. The Sarasota County medical examiner confirmed its office was responding to the area where his articles belonging to Brian. How do we even know that was his? Like Bertolino, because if you're an experienced hiker or backpacker, maybe you might have the same general array of items in a yeah. Bertolino initially described them were found mid-morning. He said Chris and Roberta Laundrie found the items after a brief search. How convenient that, yeah, after a brief search, all of a sudden you found the items. After people now, they're starting to like they're starting to get suspicious that you may know a little bit more than what you're leading on about, like finding him or where he is. A newly erected tent was seen in the area of the discovery Wednesday as law enforcement officers cordoned off the area with yellow police tape. Wow, this has been fun, fun show, fun show, fun show. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you can catch this ride next time. That being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.